Studio right now is Joe Marino. I hope your ears were ringing because you were the topic of conversation last hour.
Yes, I heard. Thank you very much for having me, Bill. Good morning.
All right. Well, I know, and you said coming in you don't want to talk a lot about this, but they certainly made some charges, and so what do you say to that? I mean, they're convinced that, and the report states it, that it would have been a fist fight, physical fight, had they not stepped in, the police officers not stepped in.
Look, again, they spent $21,000 on, utter nonsense. How many potholes would that $21,000 have filled? I mean, I had to run past my team of lawyers to get in here. I mean, I just wasn't going to allow them to come and speak on my behalf. Yeah, I heard it. I think Bill Borrell mentioned my name 3,472 times. Look, this is right after the fact that the mayor said in a quote, "I refuse to talk about this. I want to stick to the issues. This is what this, is about. I don't want to be political." And then lo and behold, I held a press conference on an actual issue 2 days ago, and he sends his lawyers out to do a speaking tour on an issue that he said he wasn't going to talk about anymore. So, I'm here to talk about real things that matter to people. I'm not here to talk about conjecture and just a bunch of surrogates going out campaigning.
I do have to say, in fairness, we did get the request from them to come on the show before the press conference.
Okay. And do you have anything else on last hour? Do we have anything on last hour?
The council. Do you expect the council to take action? I talked about what the consequence could be if It
would have to be determined by you guys.
Again, listen. This issue is 2.5 months old. Yeah. I am completely done with it.
Let me ask you this, though.
It seems to be a tremendous waste of money.
Right.
I do have a question though about it, and that would be somebody had brought up, and I didn't get a chance to ask it because I didn't catch it until they had left. But
sure.
Why not? Why wouldn't City Hall have just said, ask the council to look into this and consider whether there be an investigation? And the council could have made that conclusion.
Bill, I think the voters will decide whether or not this was a political maneuver or if it was a reality that just, So I really do. And again, the reason that this is coming out is because the issue of this paving was an issue on Monday. I sent a letter on Thursday to all the residents of South Park Drive with that list that no one wanted me to have.
Last Thursday?
Last Thursday. That no one wanted me to have, and the fact is it might be embarrassing that on that list the mayor's road is going to be paved at his request. So I'm here to talk about paving. I'm here to talk about things that actually matter to people, and those are the kind of things that matter. I'm out knocking on doors. I'm essentially holding a town hall on people's doorsteps every day. I'm out every night talking about real issues, and no one is concerned about anything other than roads and taxes.
I have to ask you one more question on
Go
this.
ahead,
because
that's okay.
In fairness, I asked Bill
That's
Burrell.
Why, Bill, that's why I come.
I asked Bill Burrell if...
I'm not running against Bill Burrell.
I know that, but I did ask him if he was at a fundraiser, so there were cocktails flowing, if he was in a sober state to be able to differentiate between something that wasn't aggressive or was between Chief Brooks and the mayor. And he said, so I'll ask you the same question. Were you in a sober state at the Common Council where that...
Yeah, I unequivocally had not had
Nobody
any,
else was drinking?
Not to my knowledge, but I had not... I mean, no, I guess the answer plainly is no. I had no cocktails whatsoever.
Everybody was sober.
I would imagine everyone was sober.
Fair. I asked him the question. I should ask you the
question. Sure.
All right. Manaski has taken a little issue with the.
I'll say this: I don't necessarily take issue. I think you raised this issue here. Let's get everybody up to speed. There's a document here, several addresses, locations in the city, 2019 repairs contract list, filling a failing manhole. There's an outline of what will be done paving wise. In the comments section, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 7 or 8 of these say mayor's request. One of them is across the street from the mayor's house. You've basically indicated.
And by the way, this is an inside document that probably was not that was not intended to be seen by.
It's a public document. I mean, anyone could have foiled it. The problem is they shouldn't have had to. Sure, they could foil that.
What's wrong with the mayor putting in requests on paving?
That's a great question, and that's exactly what the press conference was about the other day. When we passed a paving plan through the voters.
This is what I want a clarification on. I don't mean to interrupt you because Jeff and I were having this debate.
Sure.
This referendum that was voted on by the people of Utica, it passed, is to show that 215 miles of the roads in Utica will be paved in 10 years.
Yeah, so the referendum was simply about money. The referendum was just a dollar amount.
$2 to $5 million.
The plan was instituted through the council by way of the administration, you'd hope. It was vetoed by the administration, and then the council had to go back in and re-vote. So the mayor has never had any intention on following this plan that we've had through the council. The referendum was to spend more money so we can institute the plan.
To do all the roads in 10 years.
To do all 210 miles of road over 15 years.
Okay.
It was a 15-year plan.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
And before, I guess there's two issues here. I'll let you have your piece on the mayor requesting these properties. Go ahead.
Oh, the piece on the mayor. So here's the plan. The plan was never to have, and I've even said it, let's take the politics out of paving. Because for years, if you were in favor of a mayor and you had good favor with the mayor, you would have your road paved. Or if you had a relative on the street. So what this plan was 3 years ago to do was don't have anyone that's not an engineer request the roads. Have the engineer dictate the roads. Put it all out there for all 15 years. Now, granted, you might have to take a stab at a road that you weren't aware of, just like any budget. But you plan for all 210 miles of road, and then you release that to the public so the public could see that it's an engineer that's determining which roads are being done, not a politician.
Are you saying, though, if Joe Marino becomes elected mayor, and I'm a business owner in downtown Utica, and I'm not talking about my own personal private street, I'm saying I own a business on whatever street.
Or he goes up to you at an event
Lafayette
and says,
Street.
I live on this street.
Hey, Joe, right across from the restaurant there that I own, the sewer caved in.
Right.
The sewer caved in. Now the road's all cracked. You got to have somebody take a look at this. You're saying Joe Marino, the mayor's not going to call the engineering department and say, hey, guys, I think you need to go take a look at this.
Yeah, so two different things. One, that is not a, hey, take a look at it. That is it's on the contract list. Two is, of course, you need contingency to be able to malleably work through the list. The problem is, though, I would not have myself, I'm saying as mayor, I would not want the responsibility nor the benefit of being able to say, hey, you're a business owner. Maybe that's not caving in that much, but we'll get it done for you. I'm saying I would have an engineer go look at that business owner's property and see, is it worth doing this year?
How do you know that didn't happen, though?
I'm certain that didn't happen.
So
there is no, there is, but here's another thing, though,
okay,
if I may. I'm personally certain that didn't happen, right? But no one else could be as certain as I could. So why not publicize all of these things and put them online? Why is that not online? Why is there no accountability to it?
Let me say this. The city says they don't put it online because the list often changes. I did go down the day after you held the press conference. I went and right in the lobby, I said, I'm looking. There's a pothole. The whole pothole filler displays there. And there was a police officer there, nice man. I said, hey, how you doing? I'm looking for this list of roads that are going to be paved. I said, I see this pothole sign here. He goes, no, it's not that. He goes, you want to talk to engineering? Go up, elevator, second floor, first door on your right. I walked in. I said, I need the paving list. This is what they gave me. There's a stack of papers right on the counter.
Yeah, sure, they're ready for it now. But the idea is this. How could you tell me, or because I know that the City Hall said that, not you tell me.
Yeah.
How could City Hall say that we can't put it online because it changes all the time? I'm aware that there are changes, and I have no problem with changes. But you're telling me that you can't change anything online? Put it out there, and then you can have a cross out and say, look, this is a happenstance. There is no transparency whatsoever in this plan at all because the mayor's – look, I've heard from people that I had no idea my road was on the list. I've heard from people, I'm up in arms. Richardson Ave and South Park Drive are two perfect examples. Both roads are going to be done this year, both. No one on those roads knew that it was going to be done. You couldn't find it. You'd have to go to City Hall and request it, and God only knows. I mean, they certainly wouldn't have had a stack of papers 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So I'm not saying that any of this stuff is out of line. Maybe the mayor's house does have a legitimate problem. Perhaps it does, and perhaps an engineer looked at it. But where is the scoring of the roads that we were supposed to have by a professional engineer? Lay it out there.
So I'm told that there is, and historically in Utica, there always has been an assessment of the roads done by the engineering department.
Right.
And are you saying that and then they would assess which roads need to be taken care of, and then there'll be changes during the year. You might have someone call in and say, oh, my God,
the oh, my God
sewer line just caved in. So are you saying that's no longer being done? The engineering department is not doing that anymore?
No. So what we did 3 years ago is we started to utilize the county to score the roads. So the United County Department of Engineering, who has professional engineers that are qualified to do this, I'm really happy about it, they are scoring the roads. What I'm saying is, why not be held accountable and release it to the public? Why all the secrecy? Why all the smoke and mirrors? Why all the hide and seek?
You're saying people, the public doesn't know if the city is following the recommendation of the engineers.
That's
at the
exactly
county
what I'm
level.
saying.
Okay.
That recommendation is not being publicized because if they don't want to follow it, they don't have to.
I have 90
because
seconds.
no one knows about it.
All right, 90 seconds, and I'm sorry I saved this till the end. I actually think there's a bigger issue here than who decided what road should be paved and at what point.
There's only 7 miles of road being done?
There's 7 miles of road scheduled to be paved this year, according to this document from the city. It's actually almost 7.5 miles. At 215 miles of city road, it wouldn't take you 15 years to pave every road. It would take you 30.
No, the plan was to call for 14 miles of road. Again, Jeff, we put a plan out that was collectively 7 people said to do it to the mayor. The Common Council, the governing body, said, please do this. And here's how we should do it. The engineer's office was there. The comptroller was there to figure out how to pay for it. We were all prepared. It was supposed to be done a certain way. My issue is not that the mayor's road is being done. I think that that's a political problem. But my issue is that they're not following the plan.
So it wouldn't take 15 years. It would take 30. And I'm not blaming the council for this. I'm just not understanding why the council does something
they
and then the
passed the
city
money
just
increase.
ignores it.
But that's exactly the problem. I've had resolution after resolution pass. A lot of people have that have sat in a drawer because this administration won't follow what the governing body is asking it to do. Municipal Wi-Fi. We passed 9-0. Please look into it. 6 years ago, nothing came out of it. Local labor on pilot programs. Hey, if you're going to get a pilot from the city, please use local labor and local businesses to supplant some of the tax dollars we're not going to get. That sat in a drawer. This is just another example of the mayor not doing anything and not being held accountable. And again, sending his lawyers out and not answering real questions as to why he doesn't.
Will you please reach out to Bill Borrell and the Corporation Council again? Maybe they'll come out and talk about paving because I know the mayor's not going to answer these questions.
Well, maybe he will after today.
Or after June 26th, evidently. I mean, I will challenge that. I will love to come in this show with the mayor, and I would answer all these questions with him. I will love to. I challenged him to a debate. I got nothing out of it.
That's called the debate.
I got nothing. I got nothing out of it, though, Jeff.
Don't hold your breath, Joe. I don't see it.
Let's call it what you'd like.
I don't see it happening.
Let's call it a gentleman's discussion. I don't care what we call it, but I'd love to talk about issues in front of the public so they can actually decide who is the better choice to be the mayor of the city of Utica. And he won't do it, but I'm really asking. I'm asking publicly. Please debate me.
Well, it isn't even a debate at this point. I mean, it's the fact that he's not, and it's not just our show.
Yeah, but I'm not in the media. I'm actually running against him for the public to vote and decide on who we're asking. So I'm not saying that I want you to come on a show. Let's go in front of the public. Have a general moderator that doesn't have anything to do with the media, that we both agree on, and let's talk about it. I'll do it at the Odd. I'll do it at a church. I'll do it in.
I'll make a prediction. If you lose on primary day, there'll never be a debate. But if you win on primary day, the mayor will be calling for a debate.
I will debate him. I'll debate him with a very small third-party line.
And in fairness, the incumbent most times prefers not to debate. In fairness,
right?
But what I'm saying, normally the incumbent will come on the radio and answer questions.
There's a lot of unanswered questions here. So how could you prefer not to debate? You can cut ribbons multiple times on multiple properties, but you won't debate. That doesn't make sense to me or the public.
I'm out of time. Thank you for
guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And we'll do it again, I'm sure.